Okay. So, in order to do the next three methods that I'm going to teach you, you need to have a basic understanding of division. Okay? So, if I start with the number 16 and I divide by 2, what is that? 8. If I start with 16 and I divide by 4, what is that? 4. And what if I start at 16 and I divide by 8? 2. So, as my divisors become bigger, my answers become smaller. As my divisors become smaller, my answers become bigger. Okay? So, for 1 through 4, they want us to pick the fraction that would give us the biggest answer. So, if I want the biggest answer, I need the smallest divisor. So, which one of these would you choose in number 1?
Y over 40.
Y over 40. I want the smaller. 40 is smaller than 45. What about number 2 on the right? 9.02. What about number 3?
The first one.
0.095. Okay? Those of you that struggle with comparing decimals, my suggestion to you is make sure each one goes out the same amount of spaces. So, 0.95 goes 3. So, in order to make this go 3, just add some zeros. 400 is bigger than 95.
Oh, 100 degrees.
So, again, if you struggle with the decimals, take it out so they match in length, and that will help you pick one. Number 4.
The first one.
The first one. Okay. Number 4 is the first one. Okay. These ones. This time I want the smaller.
So,
okay.
32.
So I want the smaller, so my divisor needs to be the bigger one. So Zoe said 36. 82. 23. Again, if you need to throw that extra 0 on there. 230 is higher than 87.
734.
And 734. Does that make sense? Okay. So if you want a smaller, you need to go opposite. If you want larger, you need to go opposite. Okay? So that's what we're about to do. It's called the divisor method. So in other words, you want to manipulate the divisor to create quotas for the apportionment. This is what sucks about the next 3 methods. We are now going to do a guessing game.
No.
Yes. Okay. So the struggle is real here, but we're going to struggle together. So, in other words, remember when we added up all your lower quotas with Hamilton's method, and we got like 148, and we said we needed 2 extra seats? Okay. So this time, this is still going to need to go up. But that means my divisor that was like 0.5, instead of just adding 1 to give people extra seats, we're actually going to change this to cause all that to happen. I will show you as soon as we get into some examples. Okay. So, if you take a look at this, if I take 250 and I divide by 6, but I now need my answer to get larger. If I need my answer to get larger, you said I needed to go smaller with my number. So I started at 6. Which one of these choices would give me a larger answer? 5. So again, if you want larger, you need to go smaller. If you want smaller, you need to go larger. So number 2, I'm dividing by 9,
D.
and I want to go smaller.
D.
So D. What else would work?
8. I think 10.
10. Okay.
Was there 2 or just 1?
There's 2 for that one. Either one would give you a smaller answer. 12 would give you the smallest answer, but 10 would still give you something smaller than 9.
It's set.
Okay. Number 3. I start at 125. I want to go smaller. So 125 has to get bigger. C and D. C only went up by 0.01, but it still went up. It's still a difference. And D also works with 127. Number 4, I started with 0.35, and I want to go larger.
Will we circle both of those on our
0.09.
paper? Just
Yes, circle both. What'd you say?
0.09
0.09 is smaller.
and
what's
0.15.
0.15 is smaller. And what'd you say, Devin?
I said B.
B is also smaller. 0.275 is also smaller. So any of those 3 options would work except for C. C is the only one that does not work. Finally, number 5. I start at 123.5. I want to go larger.
The biggest.
So I need to get
Smallest.
smaller.
122.7.
122.7 is smaller.
123.4.
123.49 is also smaller because, again, if I extend this out, that's 50. This one's 49, so it's still smaller. Not by much, but it's still smaller. Questions?
I guess not.
I guess not. Okay, so here's your next method. So Alexander Hamilton started us off, okay? And he brought in the Hamilton's method. Well, Thomas Jefferson came through and said, no, that doesn't work either. I don't think it's fair that you give 1 point to the highest decimal to get your total. So he says we now need to change our divisor so we just use the lower quotas. So we're going to sit there and adjust your divisor several times to change your lower quotas. So again, if I end up with lower quotas that total out to be less and I need more, I'm going to take my modified divisor and I'm going to bring it down. Okay. So that's exactly what this is. And this one's already done in your notes for you, so you have an example that is absolutely perfect that you can go back and look at. So if you take a look at this one, they went through, gave you state, seats, and populations, 15 scholarships to be apportioned amongst 231 English majors, 502 history, and 355 psychology. Your states or your departments are getting scholarships based on the number of majors. Okay. So, first thing they did, they added up all your populations. That gave you 1,088. Okay. Yes. No. I need you to get out your notes and take notes. I told you we'll finish it on Monday. I meant to bring it down for third period. Okay. 1,088 divided by your number of seats, which were your scholarships, gave us a standard divisor of 72.53. That hasn't changed. Okay. Then they took your standard divisor and divided each one of your populations to get your standard quotas here. That hasn't changed. Then they went through and gave you your lower quotas, just like you would with Hamilton's method. That didn't change. When you totaled it up, it became 13. So I needed to actually reach what? 15. So this number needs to get bigger. So what they did then is they have to come over here and say, okay, if that needs to get bigger, I need to divide by something that's smaller, which is why we just did all of that. So I need to bring this number down. Okay. So that's exactly what they did. They tried 72. So again, they went through and divided each one of their answers by 72. That gave you some new quotas and some new lower quotas, 3, 6, 4. Well, guess what?
It's still 13.
It's still 13. It didn't really do much. So this still needs to go up, which means I still need to take this down. Okay. So they dropped it down to 70. Again, took all those steps, divided everything by 70. Now my lower quotas became 3, 7, and 5. And when I totaled them up, it's 15 exactly. So your modified divisor that did it was 70, and it gave you the lower quotas that you needed. So this is a long process, but I'm going to show you how to use your calculator to make it just a little bit easier. So if you have not grabbed your calculator today when you walk in, I need you to do that now, please. Oh, no, you were correct. I meant to bring it down third period when you had half away and I completely forgot. I haven't told James I was gonna bring him down and I completely forgot, so. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just want to throat this off, Brian.
I've never tried it.
Okay, so there are some strategies that will help you pick your standard divisor. I will tell you this, I don't use it, but I'm going to show you how, because to me, this is a little bit more tedious than just playing the guessing game, okay? But I'm gonna show you how to kind of make it a little bit easier. Again, I don't like it, so you do with it what you wish, okay? But I am going to show you. So when you get a problem and you're doing Jefferson's method, your first step is to get that standard divisor. So again, your standard divisor is the total pop divided by the number of seats. What's my total population here?
1,380.
1,380.
34.5. That's 15.
He got the answer. That's what he's giving me. 1,380 is my total. What's my number of seats? 40. I've got 40 scholarships to give out. So that gave me what, Gianni?
34.5.
34.5. 34.5. Okay. So you should be used to this after Hamilton's method. My next step then is to take that standard divisor and get my standard quotas. So I need to go through and I need to divide each one of these by 34.5. Whoops, not 3.45, 34.5.
I prophesied you on the first day of school. You remember that? I remember it. Memory is good. What? I only part right now on the first day of school tonight. So like, wait. It's here.
It's here tonight?
True.
Maybe.
Maybe. Stop. Y'all gonna get stop. No. That's why I don't know.
I will tell you this. I will be here for homecoming and senior night.
Okay.
I will be here for homecoming and senior night. I'm just kind of sad that we're only playing 4 home games. 4 football home games. That's it. All we have. Okay, what do we get for a standard quota for math?
7.1. Yeah.
7.10. Should have been your standard quota for math. What do we get for biology? Thank you. 13.49.
You thought I was going to say
And what about political science?
18.95.
Good.
I thought you said 13. I mean 15.
13.94.
I got 95.
I got 94. 13.
Is it 94 or 95?
I'm in biology.
You got 14?
Nasty.
Oh. I put the numbers backwards. Thanks, James. I'm sorry, guys. I put the numbers backwards. Apparently, I'm going dyslexic today. Apparently, I'm going dyslexic now. Okay. So again, this step is the same as Hamilton's method. Okay. I now need to do lower quotas. So
13, 18.
7, 13, 18, which gives me a grand old total of,
38.
focus,
38.
up here, please,
38.
38. So this needs to do what?
Go down.
It needs to go up by
2.
2. Good. Remember, my goal is my seats. So this needs to go up by 2. Okay? Which means I need to take this number and drop it down. Okay. Yeah, drop it low. I can't get too low. I won't get back up. Okay? So you said we need to assign 2 seats. Okay? So, again, I don't use this, but this could be helpful for some of you that may like this. So, we're going to roll with it. So, each state has the option to go to their upper quota, correct?
Yeah.
Remember, we said they can do their lower quota or their upper quota, but they should never go any lower or any higher. So, that means math could go from 7 to 8. Biology could go from 13 to 14. And political science could go from 18 to 19. So they say if you take that upper quota and you divide each state by that upper quota, it will give you some numbers that you can change your modified divisor to. So what they mean by that is you're going to take mass population of 245 and divide it by 8, which was the upper quota. Okay, that means that I could use a modified divisor of 30.625. Okay, I do the same thing to biology. So 481 divided by 14, which means we could use a modified divisor of 34.357. And political science was 654 divided by 19, which means I could use a modified divisor of 34.421.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. So, if I need to go lower, what's the first one that's right below where I started? Okay, remember, we started at 34. Actually, let me do it over here.
34.421.
Okay, we started at 34.5.
Oh, no, 30.625.
So,
Oh,
one
no.
step down, you're right,
Yeah.
is 34.421. What would go right below that?
34.357.
34.357. And then finally, 30.625. So, they say because you need 2 seats, that you should go 2 steps down. So, I should skip this one, and I should use this one as my modified divisor. Yes. Huh? Can you let me finish this example real fast? Okay. So, that means I'm now going to use 34.357. Okay. 34.357. So now you've got to go through that whole long process again. We've got to take 245 and divide it by this modified divisor now. And this should give you 7.13. which means I have a lower quota of 7. Okay. I'm also going to take biology, 481, and again, divide by that number. This time it gives me 14.003. Its lower quota is 14. And finally, we take 654. Oops, 654, and divide by my new modified divisor, and that gives me 19.039, which means my lower is 19. Add up all those numbers down. What's 7 and 14 and 19? 21 plus 19 is 40. Did I meet my scholarships?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my modified divisor.
Great.
I don't like to do this method because when you have like 6 states, this becomes a royal pain in the butt. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do this on the calculator. She says,
I'm scared.
Yo, Nada is a real one, bro.
all right. So in order to do this on the calculator, make sure your calculator is cleared out. Second plus 7, 1, 2. Oh, happy birthday, Miss Hector.
You know whose birthday it is?
Who? Faith Wall?
It's not her birthday. Her birthday's July 14th.
Why the hell? Wait.
We was playing.
They playing games on you.
All 3 of us.
They playing games on you. Okay. Into y equals. If you look at example 3, where you see all those big, huge numbers, we need to enter all those in. So 1,646,000. And you're going to hit divided by X. Every number that you put in here must be divided by X. Okay, do not leave that off. You're going to move down to Y2 and put in the population for state B. So 6,936,000. Again, divided by X. Move down. 154. 000. Divided by X. Move down again. 91,000. 2,091,000. Divided by X. Drop down again. We're doing 685,000. Divided by X. And finally, you should finish this off at 988,000.
Crazy compare.
That's the most annoying commercial on the radio.
That's the best commercial on the
Bro, I
radio.
was getting lit when you was home.
Just say the name green for
Right.
Everybody know that commercial.
Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Why are you just getting...
Oh, Carla.
Bro, be too.
Okay, does everybody have the section?
I got
Okay. You good?
What push got the number?
You got that in?
the March.
Did they put that
Did you
in?
put it in?
Okay.
Yes, I had it in before you.
All right, so now, instead of you sitting there and dividing each one of these by your standard divisor, your calculator will now do that for you. So, your standard divisor, according to this example right now, is 50,000, correct? So, you want to hit second window. and it'll bring you to your table setup. You want to tell your table what you want to divide by. So where it says 0, you're going to put in 50,000.
50 and 3 zeros.
Okay, 50 and 3 zeros. I'm sitting there. Yeah, because I was about to say 5 and 4 zeros. She said 50. Okay, we good here. Okay, now you want to hit second graph to bring up your table. Look at all of the standard quotas that are already on your paper. 32.92. Woo! There it is. 138.72. One. And the 5th one. And the 6th one. Okay. So your calculator will now do this all for you. So when you play the guessing method, instead of individually sitting there and dividing everything, so it's a pain to put all of these populations in it first, but then you don't have to sit there and divide and divide and divide and divide because it becomes tedious. So with that being said, you let me, there we go. Thank you. Okay, so my lower quotas according to these right now are what? What state's A's lower quota? 32. B is 138. C is trace.
Trace.
13. Not 10. You want to say that in Spanish? What? 13, 32, 19, 40.
You go.
Trace like 38.
Okay.
Ooh.
Isn't that 10 to equals?
Thank you.
I got
I
one.
tell me the what when I say it?
I didn't do that. Yeah, you tried to fuck.
Okay, so here's probably a dumb question. What is that? Oh.
Never had someone call you.
I've had somebody call me Kragan, but you know.
Yeah, saltines. Nah,
Okay. When I add this up, what do we get? What'd you say? 246. Okay. Valeria says that gives me a total of 246.
Oh.
Okay. I need to reach 250. So 246. Marker down. 246 needs to go up, which means my standard divisor needs to go down. I need to pick some number that is lower than 50,000. When you're dealing with standard divisors that are big, I would start moving by thousands. Okay, so what's 1,000 lower than 50? We're going to go 49,000. So that's going to go down in the modified divisor spot. Okay, so again, save yourself some time. Go to your calculator now. Go back to your table set. So hit second window. Change 50,000
to 49.
to 49. Okay, and go to your table. Okay, this will change all of your standard divisors, and all you need now are your lower quotas. You don't even care about the decimals anymore. So I need somebody to scroll through and give me all of those lower quotas for me to add here.
33, 141.
33, 141,
33,
3,
42,
42.
13, and 20.
Okay. So somebody needs to give me a total now. Okay. We're now at 33, 141, 3, 42, 13, and 20. Notice we're going off of the lower quotas. Jefferson is always lower quotas.
174 plus 3.
Bro, hold up, stop doing it out loud.
174
Oh, they're trying to do it off the head.
That's what I was doing.
7.
42 plus 2.
God dang.
Oh, 177.
What?
Oh. I don't want to. No, you don't have to either.
I do know
What's the
that.
answer? What's the answer? What's the answer?
No, you
What's
don't.
the answer? What's the
I
answer,
gotta.
man?
Well, this is how.
See,
What's the answer?
if you want to do it that way,
13.
if you want to do it that way, I'd start joining like stuff like this. So 42 and 13 give you 55.
I did 20.
So that gives you a pretty number.
And then just added
And
30.
then-
I would do maybe 33, 3. That gives me
36. I got
36. 46, 56. So that gives you 56. So 55 and 56 give you 111.
I was gonna say, I think you're doing
Answer
fine.
is 252.
252. Or, whip out that handy dandy calculator.
Or you can just think smarter than me or John.
I did it completely. 3 with 42, 45, 45,
You can't
56, 58.
Okay. So this number now needs to come down. Remember, 250 is our goal. So this needs to come down, which means this needs to go up. So, hold on. Yes, we're going there, but so 50,000 needed to come down, 49,000 needed to go up. So we need to be somewhere smushed in the middle. Where do you want to go? As I'm throwing things.
You're right.
Okay. Where'd you say you want to go?
Vote that. I'm voting down now.
Okay. So Johnny says, let's go directly in the middle. 49,500. Okay. So go to second window. Change your table start to 49,500. And somebody give me these lower quotas.
33, 143, 42, 13, 19.
Okay. So stayed the same. We lost one here. Stayed the same, stayed the same, stayed the same. Lost one here.
It's gonna be equal now.
So we lost 2. So we're now at 250. So this is my modified divisor. So again, when you're dealing with big standard divisors, I would start changing by 1,000. Okay. Huh?
Obviously,
When they're when it's a really small modified or standard divisor, I would change by very small increments. Okay, so if you ever forget how to enter all this into your calculator, at the bottom of this page, you will find all that information. NY equals, you need to put upper state population divided by X. Okay, that's what tells your calculator to divide by what you put in the table start. Go to second window, which is your table start, put in the divisor you want, and hit second graph, and that takes you to your table. Okay. We've got 2 more examples to do. 2 more. Okay.
You have to do the shorthand notation.
Yeah, that's where that's where you start to guess your modified divisors. And I gave you lots of room because it might take you a while.
So we have to do our Y equals again?
For the one that we were just on, we didn't need. That's where your 49,500 should have went in the numbers that we put in there. Okay. That's where you guess. Okay. So before we enter this one into the calculator, I need a standard divisor. So we need to find that first. What number goes in the top? So I can find my standard divisor.
160. No.
Standard divisor's formula is what?
Population.
Population over seats. So what goes in top?
8.
8. My population total is 8. Divided by.
Oh, it says it
There's
right
gonna
here.
be 2. There's gonna be something with a 2 in it. What?
What's going to be something with the 2 in it?
No, I'm talking about the end part.
160 is my amount of seats. So where does that start me with a standard divisor?
20.
0.5, 0.05.
0.05.
I did that in my head.
0.05. Okay. So Clear out your calculator again. Second plus 712. You need to enter in state A as Y1, state B is Y2, state 3 is Y3, state D is Y4. Do not forget to put divided by X when you enter these in. Okay, so take a minute and do that. And then I need you to go to your table start and enter in 0.05. And then take some time, fill in your standard quotas, and get me your lower quotas from your table.
For the standard quota, are we supposed to put the decimal and all?
For the standard quotas should always have the decimals. The lower quotas, the upper quotas, for normal rounding should not. Okay. Your standard quotas should always have the decimals. From the bug? When he was running from the bug? I'm sorry, I found that entertaining. All the state populations into Y equals. Okay, all the state populations into Y equals. And then you need to put your standard divisor into your table start. So you would hit second window and enter in 0.05. Then go to your table. And you're going to pull all of your standard divisors from there.
You said if you need to go up.
If you need your number to go up, you need to make your modified divisor go down. So 0.05 needs to go down. Now be careful with this one. You want to go down very small. You want to go down very small. So if you want to hold off and wait so I can talk about that.
No.
If not, go ahead, rock it. It might take you a while. We might sit there and giggle at you. Oh.
True.
Does anybody know what the theme is for the tailgate in the weekend?
That's Hawaiian night.
Hawaiian night? I don't know if we have anything Hawaiian. I might have some Lay's at home. I probably steal her Lay's though.
That's
scary,
bro. Like, that's scary, bro.
All right. Do we at least have standard quotas and lower quotas?
60.
For sure.
Ooh. Get my whole book up.
No wonder why I'm so fucking
It's all great.
All right. So you said my standard quotas were what? Woo, 53.4, 26.6, and 13.8. Okay, so Drew says that drops you to 66, 53, 26, and 13.
Yeah.
Which gives me a total of 158. I can't do that. I can't grab my post on this. Sorry. So this number needs to go up, which means this needs to go down. Okay.
Please don't say.
So when you are guessing modified divisors that are small, okay, instead of going, so normally people would go, okay, 0.05. I should go clear down to 0.04.
No, don't do it.
I would not do that. Okay, that is going to completely throw your score up to like 170 something.
Oh, it was
It's
198.
going to be, is it 180?
198.
198. Okay, so this gives me 198. See how far that went up? That's a problem. So instead of dropping my numbers, expand it out. So normally this is 0.050. So I can do something like 0.049. Because 49 is lower than 50, right? Okay, so I wouldn't go very far when you're dealing with decimals. So go ahead and put in 0.049 and see what happens. This needed to go down. Okay, 0.049 and see what happens.
It's 162.
Okay, Zoe says it's 162 because we end up with 67.
54, 27, 14, 162.
162. Okay, so now my number's too big. It needs to go down, which means this value needs to go up. So I need to be higher than 0.5 or 0.49, but lower than 0.50.
0491.
Okay, so again, we need to work our way out then. So in between is 0.049. You want to go 1?
I don't care. What do you think we should go?
I don't know. Somebody pick something.
2.
You have any digit between 1 through 9 to fit in there. What you want? 5? Who said 5? Jonathan says 5. We're going to go with Jonathan.
Oh, okay. So that's how you feel. We see.
I would have picked the middle number. So I would have went 5. That's why I went with Jonathan.
Oh, okay, Jonathan.
Whoops. That should be 9-5, not 4-5. Okay. What's that give me?
66, 53, 26, 13. So it's 160 exactly.
Hold on. We went down 1, 2.
Oh,
3,
no. It's the same
4.
as the first one. It's
Oh, no.
See, I said.
Jonathan gave us a dud. Jonathan gave us a dud. We went clear back down to 158. So now this number needs to go down. So I need to go lower than this. What you want to go now? You said 3? Okay. Let's try 3. 0.0493. We only need 2 of these numbers to go up.
Yeah.
So where are we at?
Hold on. Ah,
Anybody. It doesn't just have to be Zoe.
She got paid for that teacher role right there.
67, 54, 26, and 13. So we went up 2, and these 2 stayed the same. Woo! Okay, you want to know what else would work? I used 0.0494, and that also gave me the same answer. Okay. So the only plus side to Jefferson's method is when you guess, there's a range of numbers that your answers could be. So Drew could have a different answer, Nehemiah could have a different answer, Ikea could have a different answer, Zoe could have a different answer. James could have a different answer. Everybody in this room could have a different answer.
No, Mike. You said Mike earlier.
Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to try this one completely on your own. You can help each other. I am off limits. I want you to try this on your own. If we can get this, there is no homework for the weekend.
You're like 9:05.
So Mari's got the brand new.
It's me.
Yeah.
You all right.
The other brand new camera, this one is yellow bag, but it's the super long.
When I'm getting you numbers,
Okay.
okay, so can you get
This has the other two, but you know how to change it. Right.
these?
Then I brought this one down.
Divided by
It's a
X.
Smaller one, if you wanted to do a small one
you would do
too, so you could do
330.
close photos while you're walking around. This one's pretty much just go all the way down.
Divided by X. You want me to jump down and.
This just doesn't have a case.
7 divided by X.
Okay,
Be
yeah.
careful what you do.
Thanks.
And they don't fit, I would put that lens on that one, but they're two different cameras, the knife on that's the camera.
9
Sorry.
divided by X.
Anything that,
And then you go to your
Amari
table
has.
start. You go into your
Anything
table
Amari
start,
has
that's
fits
where you
on
start
that one.
putting in your
anything
guesses.
she has fits on that.
Okay, true.
So point
Unfortunately, I got two different
0.0493. Those are the answers you take out of this. So when you put in that and you go to your table, it's 67.14. So that means my lower quota is 67. Scroll over, it's 54 lower quotas. Lower quotas. So that was 54 point something, so it's 54. That was 26 point something, so it's 26, and that's 13 point something. So you'll start off here by putting all these in, so you have 6 of them, so you go to the last 6 divided by X, and then get your standard divisor first.
Are you gonna be down here?
So you need to do the, yes. Awesome.
What would be the seats?
If I get down there.
Friends. Eric. What would be the seats?
I ain't even started, Joe.
Nobody knows.
What was that, son?
It's like
He wants to know what number to use for the seats, 150 or 6.
not G or
It was
Z.
150.
So it's because no.
Appreciate it.
Your 6, Drew, represents the 6 kids that are up there. Zach, Kate.
I said not like, not you, because you always talk.
So your students are getting colored pencils
Yeah, you always help.
based on their exam scores.
So,
Word? Oh, God. Okay. When I need your help, I need you.
Oh, look over here.
no, because we can help each
They
other.
ain't gonna like.
Let me tell you this,
I
too.
got you.
You guys will get an index card. You put down any information on one side of it and one side only that you may need for this test. So my suggestion to you is to put all 4 methods on and how to do them.
Hey, you see that name right there? Well, just let me get one more thing.
Mine says, I'm gonna need a whole packet. Just give me my notes this time. Let's just give me my notes.
Shut up.
You would have to be two, that's 2 points.
Stop.
Trying to help.
What do you mean?
No, you know, your favorite.
Your standard divisor?
Why? Oh,
How you writing more? See, now you got me writing more.
I don't know how to live.
They want.
And then,
Divide them all by 3.42.
Progress reports yet.
because you're a staff.
We need Maya's ISS.
Yes, sir.
Is that my boo Lucas?
Thank you.
Sound right.
You gotta go return your lunch here. The whole outfit.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what happened when I get back. And then when I walk in,
You like, what the hell? You was his mom. But Miss Curry said I had to get that baby from back because I didn't get baby no more. But you know, like I said,
Of course you
I'm gonna be alright.
Are you not doing band anymore?
Bro, I'm moving slow.
Yeah, I remember that. I
Javon
didn't know,
knows.
I didn't know if when she came back if she rejoined or.
Yeah, you do.
I miss him.
I know you're using the calculator.
Which I know you don't have my business. It's not even a short price. I used to work the whole year. Give me something one time.
You should feel weird. Ain't no one.
Davidson?
It was going to win for that.
Wanna play for me tonight? What position is it? The end.
You get into that?
I'm supposed to, but my shoulder don't want that, right?
On the word?
Word.
Let me know if you get it. I'm coming to you. Check it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Tom Pat. Get your spot up.
Tom Pat, get it. Did you get an answer, Tom Pat?
Yeah, he did.
Nigga's a genius.
Why are you wearing Gianni shirts?
She playing football.
What you talking about?
Oh my God.
What
That shit cracking.
Yeah, we got a
Crack.
football.
Cracking.
Listen, I think Zoe would be a beast.
I think I'd be a beast at anything I did.
It's a beast because I've seen some pictures of her on the football team. I didn't even know that.
Hmm.
Possible things.
Man, you know how long ago that was?
He used to play football.
I'm gonna keep it a G with you.
Yes, like Pee Wee football.
They were using some little jerseys.
You saw.
This real fast and listen.
And I'm supposed to get people to number 158.
Your goal is, yes, you want to get 150 when you do your lower quotas.
It's like Chris Church.
Oh, I'm dumb.
We did like
I
two
need
words.
that. That's what I said.
Or you have to play the guessing game. The next method we're gonna learn, instead of going everything down the lower quotas, everything's gonna go to up.
You say we go down.
Bitch, you did everything higher.
Is the total higher?
Yes, if you want the total to go higher, you
I mean,
need
you
your
just take
standard
my
divisor
spot.
to
I
get.
have a problem with that, but you're not taking my
It's
spot.
always opposite.
No, bitch. No, bitch.
You know, it's gonna be his pipe.
Hey, guess what? I don't get it, dumbass.
Hey, enough.
Hey,
Be nice to each other.
they are being nice.
Don't do it.
Hey. Oh, progress reports.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy, you're a cool, better play some grade.
You got Cruz. Oh,
Yeah, you know that.
Thank you, Ms. Byerly.
yeah, but time's fast. That's why.
That's Miss Wiley. Bro, I feel like so disrespectful. Somebody told me to go Miss Wiley, and I walked around the school looking for Miss Wiley for like an hour.
Me too.
I ain't think this is all day that used to be a guy. Where she at now?
You're done?
She's still in.
Carla got it.
True, she's still in.
Good. Now go over there
They
and
gotta
do it.
do all this.
You know, Carla?
No.
Go, Carla.
So one got homework?
You just switched it.
I know, I'm gonna need y'all to get it. Come on. Carla's one person. Russ, you can do
Hey,
this.
give me a hand. Give me a hand.
Thank you,
Is that the
Coach.
fish fry thing, bro? You could have gave me one.
The sun trying to come in.
Huh?
The sun was trying to come in.
Yeah, I saw my son trying to come in here.
If the number is lower, you gotta raise
Because
the
you went to Winston, nigga. Just because you went to WSSU don't mean to me. You can still catch this 10 and a
Okay,
half.
that's down. If this needs to go up, then this needs to go down. Whatever you
Because
put
like
in.
I'm trying to buy a $10 fish plate. My grandmother know how to make fish. We got fish in the freezer.
All right, so that means Carla can have. She's like, I don't want it.
Honey.
You know, I'm that teacher that like bananas too.
If my grade look crazy, it's because Cruz don't put in grades.
Yeah, my great.
That don't make sense.
Carla. Larry, do you want to take Sissy's home with you?
Okay, well, my mom called me and says.
Miss Smith, this is right.
You think you got it?
Are you okay?
Me and Zoe working together.
Yes!
I mean, me and-
You're the man!
Yeah, she's working together.
Jesus just kicked some butt.
Did you get this for that?
That's it, you done. No homework this weekend. Where did you go?
Well, Maya, you head down.
No, that bitch took my jacket. It is fucking covered.
Miss Curry took the jacket.
Yes, like you could blame it.
She took your band jacket.
That's
band.
really
That's
not
messed up.
lame as hell.
I don't give a bro.
Tyrese wasn't in band for.
And Mimi not in bed, and she still got her whole uniform. But they say nothing to her, nothing to her. Nope, I don't want to hear it.
Just let it go. Just let it go.
I beat this curry.
Anybody else get this year?
So we should do wait till you took that off and then we break down there and took the drink.
Yeah. Oh, dang. You know it.
I don't like the dressing for it.
Yes.
Help us,
Okay.
help us.
Those of you that are finished, if you want to go around and help some people, I've got 2 finished. Go offer a helping hand.
You gotta give you that check.
Every school, love it. But Miss Thomas, I can still go to the college. Sorry.
Scamming girl doing it. Okay, you don't want to try. Yeah.
All day, every day. Floyd, Phillips, Curry, it'll get me done.
Yeah. You're not there yet. Okay? So we've got got, and you've got all of these in. Okay. Before you do that, you need to get your standard divisor, which when you did that, 514 divided by 150, that was absolutely correct. Okay, you're fine. Rewrite it, 514 divided by 150,
We don't
and that
have.
gives you 3.42.
You try to get fed, don't break flags.
Where they give us school spaghetti.
So now, in your table start, you always want to hit second window. That's what you want to put in here. 3.42. And now go to your school life. So now, my lower quota here.
What, you want this? I'm sharp enough?
Remember, drop your decimal when you're doing your lower quota.
No. Why you watch like
So 26. You want to start 26. Okay, you move over to the next one. That one's gonna be. So your next one's gonna be. Okay. Your next one's gonna be.
You trying to take it off,
Your
dude?
next one's gonna be.
You're a fool.
I got
Your next one's gonna be. And your last one's gonna be.
That was the thing.
So now, you want a second quick, so you can add up all those numbers and get your totals. So we have 26.
I asked you, why you want to go to bed?
One, three,
I got some.
27. So that gives me 147 as a total.
I ain't taking no pictures using that.
You are not taking my goal is to hit this one. So this number needs to go.
Wow.
So if this number needs to go up, I need to take this number and make it go down. Okay. So, what do you want to guess is lower than 3.42?
Your shoulders? I'm tired. Do some KTV.
I don't know if I do it
That's
that
why I asked
way.
you if you wanted some.
Remember, when you're changing decimals, you don't want to go too far lower. So, 3.3. Maybe 3.38. Okay, so this is only 0.04 away from where we were. So it's lower, but it's not too much lower. Okay, does that make sense? You want to change that into your table. So you want to write that over to the side. So we can hear you. So put it 3.38. And then you go back to your table. Second grade. So we're in.
Are you letting me free?
That's not, Carrie Walsh? Yes, that is Carrie Walsh.
Next one.
Who is it?
Shut
up. It's Walsh.
Next one.
That's only.
I'm gonna get this whole lot.
Right, so where'd you leave off? How many do you have? 3 of them? Okay. So your fourth one is this.
I'm not like these other bitches.
How fingers like telling me to slow down. Okay. And then here's 6. So again, now we need to quit out of this again and add up what you have now. So we have 26. 22. 4. 28. 3.
Okay, what you do to get subject? So what you do?
He's dislocated.
So that gave me
There, that's all you gotta do.
150.
Actually,
Well, I just threw my
I
math
wish
away.
this was like this one, but-
Just figure math
My
away.
hands hurt, so.
You got
No,
it?
let me actually.
How do you know?
Oh, I know.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a minute. Okay,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
let's talk about it. So I saw some people that had this answer as their
Oh,
standard
is that
quota.
right?
Some people had this answer.
I had 3.42.
Somebody in my last class had this answer.
They're all correct.
Guess what? Every last one of these is correct.
Yeah.
Every last one of these would give you that lower quota that's going to match out to be 150. Okay?
Don't do that no more.
So each one of these work. Okay, I have one more thing I want to talk about. Hold on. It's just real fast. You don't even have to write anything down. I just need you to focus up here for a minute. It is this one. Okay, let me go back to this one. Okay, let me go back to this one.
All right, check up.
Everybody up here, and we're finished. Okay, so take a look at state A. State A had 32.92, which means their lower quota was 32. Their upper quota would be 33. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Look at this one. My lower is 138. What's my upper?
139.
What happened?
They went up 2.
They went up 2 instead of going to that upper quota. What is that? We talked about it yesterday.
What is it, dude?
What is it when my number goes too high? It goes above my upper quota.
Isn't it like a violation?
What kind?
Upper quota
It's an upper quota violation. It went too high. Okay? So, a con of Jefferson's method is it can cause upper quota violations. Okay? Jefferson's method can cause upper quota violations. Any questions? No. All right.